Calling you a radical. How many more, Damien? How many more? Danielle Willard wears his how many more? How many more? This is real historic video. This is a real historic video. Look, it's not how many are watching, it's who's. Actually, I'm much more effective with a lower view count. When the contemporary sheep are all over this, I spend hours and hours fucking trying to handle emails and police fucking trolls. And so, really, you just place it into the library. I'm a research PhD. I remember working on my master thesis on my, PhDs as a young guy, just digging through library resources. And now we have this. You have to look, of course. I'm okay with that. This is real historic and important. How many more? I'm going to talk about Tsar Bomba. The Russians have released footage of Tsar Bomba. So Andrei Sakharov won a Nobel Prize, a real Nobel Prize for peace, not his nuclearism. So the United States to this fucking day has not released the Hiroshima Nagasaki truth. To this day, where do you think they learned the Fukushima fucking playbook? So this is the historic playbook. COVID-19, Kobe Bryant. The 26th of January. His death, COVID is the Hebrew word for Kobe. Kobe's the Japanese word for great. One of the trainers, Lillard's trainer, was Kobe Bryant's trainer, came from Weber. He told me I worked for the team for decades. Ron Bagelin, the greatest coach who ever was here by far. I worked for Bagelin, he was a gem. He just passed. Isn't it amazing how sport, especially basketball, will tell of all of culture before it happens, the elasticity. Kobe Bryant. Oh boy, you think about it. It's an amazing story. It's incredible. Damian Lillard's freaking alumni game. I did the play-by-play on 8/24. What's today? 8/22. We're there. So Damian dropping half quarters. He's dropping half quarters in August. Who would believe it, August? This is real historic, and I'll tell you why. As I grew up here, the Ogden Clinic was started by my uncle and my doctor now who saved my life, Vincent Hansen. My Uncle Thomas, who was a brilliant genius, one of the great heart surgeons in the history of this country, in the world, a genius, founded Vincent's partner. I'll quote Vincent Hansen. Kevin, you always remind me of him. He was the most brilliant man I ever knew. If it wasn't for Vincent, I'd be dead. So this is the historic to COVID. Now, stay with me. How many more, Damien? Mayak, Santa Susana, 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima, the mother of them all. How many more? How many more as Chicago Bridge and Iron goes broke, as Westinghouse goes broke, Belda, he went to Jarrett freaking buys it, as GE, this is the house that GE built. The nuclear state built this house. That's why Damien was ahead of 22 points at halftime in the Big Sky Championship game and lost. When a kid named Johnson never misses a shot, never missed a free throw, never missed a freakiest thing. And I've been a lot of basketball games, including sitting across from Jordan Schott. Watch Stockton play in there. Watch Jimmy Valvano cut down the nets in there. I go on and on. Watch Jason Kidd's last game in there. Watch the Admiral David Robinson in there. I can go on and on and on and on in this house. The nuclear cartel. I never seen anything like that game. They lost that game. I still don't believe what I saw. It blows my mind. It was He was interviewed after. He says, I had an out-of-body experience. This ancient, sacred, hallowed ground. Now stay with me. So I have a really close friend named Jerry. And my heart goes out to the Fires as I just left. And that's what the NBA's turned into, the shoe game. Go Padres, go Breakers, as it burns. I just left Monterey. So, that's Damien's home, Oakland. Go Invaders. So, as it burns, Fukushima caused this, I'm telling you. The house that the nuclear cartel, Mrs. Stewart's $500 million she left to it, all made. Utah Construction, which is GE, which is Ford Construction, which is the nuclear energy crime, which Weber State is the nuclear energy crime. Said that you think it's Berkeley? No, this is the head of the snake, right here. So, back to the Ogden Clinic. So my very close friend, this is historic and important stuff. Back it up, get it. Jerry worked for the Ogden Clinic. I grew up with him. He was a year older than me. Fantas. I love that guy. One of my favorite people. He knows my path. He knows my cancer path. Me and him, he worked for the Ogden Clinic forever. He says, I run into him. It was Kentucky Derby Day. I remember because that's what we were doing. We're over here watching the Derby. And I says, what are you doing, Jerry? He said, Kevin, you're not going to believe this. And I says, what? He says, I think I might have what you have. AML leukemia? Non-Hodgkin lymphoma? No. He says, I've got something going on in me and they can't figure it out. It's a virus, we think. It's something. We can't, but my daughter says he thinks it's probably some form of leukemia. I says, well, Vincent's got to be your doctor. No, it's this other guy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, why don't you go see Vincent, the athletic guy? No, this, blah, 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 and different guy. It's something they can't figure it out. Now, this is my thesis. My thesis is the mutation from Fukushima has been mutating de novo, my cancer including. I've run this by Vincent. I've run this by Fimbo, the greatest oncologist in the world. I've run my whole hypothesis, and they're like, you're all over it. I says, this thing's evolving. It's moving. It's been happening since Fukushima happened, and it's, attacking people's hearts. It's attacking. Now there's plenty of studies that are coming out saying this is damaging the heart, strontium-90 on Balco. And it's getting more vicious and more vicious and more vicious to where now it's evolved to COVID-19. So I'm in Monterey doing my tide pool work. Again, very historic stuff. By the way, the best player that ever came from this state, my good friend Tom Chambers. Oh yeah. Who I grew up with. Little county. Second best player, Jerry Chambers. Mike Newland. Well, I think it's possible for him to all get passed by Damien if he keeps going, but 8th seed, I don't know. We'll see. This is important historic stuff because I tie this to Lillard because he's from the Bay Area. O for Oakland, for Ogden. It's important because he and I on this campus together. When I got cancer, I got leukemia. I got de novo OS in 2011. Now, Randy Ray knows my fucking path more than anyone. And I'm a big supporter of Randy's because I call it boot camp. Now, stay with me. So I'm in Monterey. I'm checking the obituaries in the Ogden Standard Exaggerator every day, and I'm like, oh my God, there's Jerry's obituary. He's dead. He looks like, what the fuck? So, I do a lot of my work at the public libraries. Well, the Weber State Public Library, the research PhD that I am, been hanging around is closed. Well, that one's open. Well, I know that Jerry's nephew works there. Great kid. So I get home, I'm like, what the hell? No. He died of COVID-19. What? Have him on a respirator? Yeah, in Salt Lake. Oh my God, no. This is my hypothesis. Again, Kevin Blanche. When Fukushima happened, they're going to lie, they're going to cover it up. It's going to change everything. It's going to change all the ecology. Every last atom, every last molecule, every last neutron, proton. It's going to change it all. This energy that's been released has never happened before Tsar Bomba. Never. Didn't happen in Chernobyl. I mean, these are full blown out core fucking meltdowns with Mox Fuel in 3, Savannah River, fucking fairy tale Mox Fuel. Again, Savannah River, Arriva. Chicago Bridge and Iron, the fucking Mox Fuel fairy tale in fucking South Carolina. They go bankrupt. Chicago Bridge, 29 billion bucks. G's gonna go bankrupt. Oh, Culp saved him. No, he didn't. Which, this is the house that GE merged with Utah Construction in 1975. Made people all over this region multi-billionaires. All over here. I grew up with them. That's who built this fucking house. It opened in 77. I've been in it since the day it fucking opened. I remember watching Stevie, the Utah girl. I see my snorting cocaine because it's a round arena. It used to have all kinds of concerts here. I saw fucking Jethro Tull open. I can go on and on and on. I think maybe my favorite concert, Alabama. God, what a great concert that was. How about, it's a mistake. But how many more of these bankrupt? Westinghouse goes bankrupt. He went to Jared, buys it. The real estate fucking what? The World Bank under Trump bails out Toshiba. All nuclear stocks. All nuclear energy. Floors hitting the floor now. New scale from hell. In an historic up market. This market has had the greatest bull run since fucking 2009, 10 in fucking U.S. stock market history over the last 10, 11 years. All that stock I had in 2011 all my Tesla stock. The playback, I mean, it's heartbreaking. I'll quote my cancer psychologist. Kevin, it's got to be heartbreaking to sit and watch this $1 million worth of stock turn into 5, turn into 10, turn into 20, and you don't have any. I had to fork it over. I was uninsured. It devastated. I had open heart surgery. So my whole hypothesis is this going to change everything. Play back the tape, Your Honor. By the way, I'm the guy who... How many more, Damien? I started Black Lives Matter. It's unarguable. I even coined the fucking term. I started based on the death of Danielle Willard here, from Lillard to Willard. Right here. How many right here in, Utah? People being murdered by a bad cop versus good cop. Where's the good cops? Blue State Police Force is great. I like them. But I'm talking about bad cops and murder, I coined the term. I invented the Million Mass March. Which was called the Post-Ignorance Project. The Post-Ignorance Project goes clear back to Occupy time. This thing was brewed up in 2013, 2014, my UCY TV. Remember that radio show of mine? Remember the whole fucking genre fucking erupting then? It's unarguable I invented it. It kills me. He's on the camp at the same time. I'm a big supporter of Damon. Big supporter. I think he's a fantastic person. But I support all these guys. I know Donovan Mitchell from Brooklyn. And I support their work, but come on. It's amazing to me we're on the campus at the exact same time. I've got cancer with a central line hanging out of my eye. By the way, Damien's best game was against Arlington in there, the bracket buster. They won the bracket buster. But then they lost that fucking game, and then they had to go up Montana. Another fluky fucking thing. Didn't get a stage. He's got a stage now, he's using it. How many more, he says on the back. How many fucking more? So this is my point. This has changed everything. Look, play back the tape. It's going to cause a heat source. It's a plasma. It's a fucking gas. They're going to lie. They're going to push it into the ocean. This is scientists are mystified. They're baffled. They're puzzled. They're stumped. They're perplexed. They're bewildered. That's why, because it's new. They're not all have the golden handcuffs. Just 99.9% of the fucking crooked fuckers. The NSA knows. The CIA knows. Why don't they break ranks? One of them come through and help Kevin Blanch out. Snow Job knows. Oh, he's sitting next to his owner, Putin. It's amazing to me. Hello. So my hypothesis was it's going to change the game. It's going to change everything. It's going to collapse the tide pools. You didn't believe me. I go walk the coast. I walked the coast of California from San Diego to San Francisco. Got stopped at Diablo. The coast. I've done it multiple times. All of it. Walked every square inch. Try that one. Not the Pacific Trail. Astros Noise. Documenting the dead tide pools. I proved it. Environmentalists, you have to be in the environment, right? You have to do your field work. You can't be a just radio gaga spin doctor all over fucking YouTube and think you're anything. You're any activist. You can't just show up in the street, blah, 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 and then go fucking hunker down with a gun somewhere. No, you got to do the work. Activist. You got to fucking be the activist that wins. That's Kevin Blanch. And of course, you're going to be out of vote. Of course, people are going to like you. Think about the famous activists. Where have all the great activists of the world? They end up dead. Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, Rachel fucking Carson, the great radical. All of them end up fucking poor, broke, busted, disgusted, fucking dead. Andrei Sakharov. How about Semmelweis? I can go on and on and on, these incredible historic activists. That's just the playbook. Loneliness, sorrow. I'm an artist. Great activists are all artists. Picasso, fucking Salvador Dali. So this is historic stuff. It's mutating. It's on the move, and it's not going to stop. That's the scary part of this. I only hope it's not showing up at children. And so, wear a mask. These fires. When the atmosphere actually catches fucking fire. Trump says break up the fucking leaves, a fucking moron. Come on. You got 100 million trees have died in fucking the Western United States in the last few years. I'm the first guy that started documenting that in 2015. Look at the trees. I'm in the central. I'm like, holy fuck, all beetles. And then California comes out and says, oh, you're right, Kevin Blanch, it's not beetles. Then they come out right and says, oh, you're right. We thought it was different artists working all over, up and down with maybe cell phones talking to each other when these spontaneous fires all start at once. Then they come out and admit it. Oh, fuck. The atmosphere's catching fire. You mix radio fucking Roundup, Meyer, Monsanto, Trump's kin, with fucking this, which I named fructonium, which is a synergistic effect. It's a toxic fucking plasma. It's a gas. It's a fucking soup that we